You know, most people assume that Lynchburg was just built all at once, but it wasn't. It was actually built in waves. And each wave created a totally different kind of home in a totally different part of town with completely different price points and expectations. And if you understand the era that the home comes from, then every house in Lynchburg suddenly makes a lot more sense. Hey, I'm Adam Stinespring. I'm a realtor here in Lynchburg, Virginia, and the surrounding area. And today we're going to walk through the eras of this area when things were built so you can actually understand what you're looking at when you start house hunting here. The first one is the pre-war era, which is the 1900 to 1940s. This is Lynchburg's original core. This is downtown, this is midtown, the walkable pockets of Rivermont, Fairview, Daniels Hill. People lived close to work because work was the railroad and the tobacco town, which revolved around downtown and the river. There's really two distinct types of homes that come from this era that really make the difference. First is the smaller early 1900s house. These are the bungalows, the four squares, and the modest colonial revivals. These are usually 2, 3, maybe 4 bedrooms, 1 to 2 baths, 8 to 9 foot ceilings, original hardwoods, really tight closets. These typically run anywhere from 150 for maybe some fixer-uppers, even up to like 300,000 if things have been done and updated. Then there are the huge, big Victorian early century mansions, especially along the Rivermont area and the avenues. These are 4,000 square foot plus 10-foot ceilings, elaborate trim, giant staircases, and details that you absolutely will not get on most new construction homes. Prices here jump way up. We're talking $400,000 for a, either partially updated or maybe not updated at all, to $600,000, $700,000, $800,000, depending on the size and the scope of the updates. Now, the trade-offs when you're looking at these homes are usually the old systems. So seriously, some of them still have knob and tube wiring, cast iron plumbing, plaster walls, even some of them have the original windows. And even the pretty, nice ones will often have some ongoing upgrades that need to be done. But if you want character and walkability, then this is definitely your era. I have helped plenty of people find homes in this range. But if you're looking for low maintenance, this is probably not the best option for you. The next era is the post-war boom, which was the 50s, 60s, 70s, even a little bit into the 80s. This is the era that really built most of Lynchburg and when it expanded the fastest. Veterans came home, families started growing, cars became a normal thing, and the city started to really push outwards. So Old Forest, Boonesboro, the rest of Rivermont, early Forest and Bedford, Madison Heights, parts of Campbell County. And this era really built just one type of house, and that is the brick ranch house. Brick doesn't rot, brick doesn't sag, it doesn't complain. These houses generally were built right. Almost all of them have basements. Some finished, some unfinished. Some of them have the, home gym / tool graveyard vibe. Prices today sit mostly between the $200 to maybe $350, depending on how updated it is and if the basement's been finished. Now the layouts are a little more segmented. The kitchens are smaller. They pretty much all look the same, where there's the kitchen and the living room, and then there are 3 bedrooms and the bathrooms on this side. Some of them have old systems that need updating, but these are generally the backbone of Lynchburg housing. There is hundreds of these homes, but they do come with a drawback. Remember those basements I was telling you about? Well, they didn't really future-proof them. And really, there's 2 main problems when you're looking at Lynchburg-specific basements. The first one is radon. If you've never heard of radon, the simplest version I can explain this is it is radioactive material being broken down, and so it creates radioactivity. Now, it is very low level, and comparatively to other things you probably do on a daily basis, it's not that much, but it is something to consider in these basements. A lot of them have the radon mitigation systems in them, but not all of them, and so you have to take that into consideration. But the biggest problem is Lynchburg rains a lot, and these basements were not built to withstand the Virginia clay expanding and the hydrostatic pressure put on these cinder block walls. So oftentimes you have the walls start to bow in a little bit from this pressure. There are ways to mitigate this, but it's something you should be aware of, and I would call it the drawback of these brick ranch homes. Now next came the quiet decades, which was the 80s and the 90s. People loved this. Construction slowed down, factories closed. Honestly, not a lot happened outside of the normal 80s and 90s stuff. We did get some new cul-de-sacs here in Lynchburg, maybe some ranches. This is when the split foyers started happening. Nothing really that redefined this area. The homes usually feel like slightly updated versions of their, 70s and 60s counterparts. The prices are often in the low to, mid 300s, depending on updates. The next era is the modern boom part 1, which is the 2000s to 2008 era. This was the wave before the housing crash. Forest expanded a lot during this time. Bedford County grew quite a bit. Even Amherst and Appomattox and Alta Vista saw a little bit. This is when you start to see some early versions of the modern layouts. The open living rooms, oftentimes the cathedral ceilings, maybe vinyl siding, 2-car garages. These feel newer, but they aren't quite as refined as the post-2015 builds. A lot of these were put up pretty fast in that initial boom before the housing crash. And the prices are probably going to fall anywhere from the mid 300s to low 4s, maybe up into the 5s, depending on the size and the update. And the final phase is the modern boom. We'll call this part 2, which is really 2012 into post-COVID. This is really the wave that most out-of-state buyers notice first. So Forest exploded again with a lot more new construction and new homes. Campbell County added more pockets. LU grew every single year during this time frame, bringing a lot more people here. Centra Health started hiring like crazy, and COVID hit, and everyone for some reason wanted to move here to Lynchburg of all places. So with that demand, builders started responding with full modern suburban packages, open concepts, large primary suites, walk-in closets, granite and quartz countertops, vinyl plank flooring, 2-car garages, craftsman exteriors, HOAs between like 50 to maybe 200 a month, depending on what it covers. And prices for this really run anywhere from $350 if you're kind of out in the counties and there are those 3-bed, 2-baths, even up into the $600-700, even up into the $1 million price points that have actually started to unfold more here in Lynchburg. Now the catch, most of these homes are probably going to be on slabs. I'd say 75 to 80% of them, because basements are expensive. And because of that, the basements are pretty rare. You're probably going to pay anywhere from $50,000 to $60,000 more dollars for a new build with a basement than its non-basemented counterpart. But if you want move-in ready with predictable maintenance, and oftentimes these are in nicer neighborhoods, then this might be your lane. But just know that you're paying for convenience and oftentimes location, depending on where it is. Now I'm gonna give you a bonus here. We'll call it the rural property. Now this category actually overlaps across history, because these are pockets outside of Lynchburg. So there's some historic farmhouses that are 1800s up in like Amherst. There are mid-century county homes outside of Lynchburg. There are modern builds on acreage out in Appomattox or going out towards Bedford. Honestly, I'd say there are 3 versions of county living. There's kind of the light country, which is 10 to 15 minutes out. Maybe you get 2 to 3 acres. There's moderate county, which is, 15, 25, maybe 30 minutes outside, and you're probably going to get 5+ acres, and you're definitely on well and septic. And then if you get deep into the county or into the country, you're probably going to get, 15+ acres. You're probably going to have propane or gas heating, long gravel driveways, total peace and quiet, but absolutely, only satellite internet. Here, generally land is going to be cheaper. Living on the land is probably not. Propane or gas heating, septic pump, well repairs, driveway grading, mower fuel, snow removal, you name it. They stack up pretty fast depending on how you organize it yourself. But it is a lot more peaceful, and oftentimes it's gorgeous because of the mountains here. But it is a different kind of budget too, and it doesn't really offset too much because you're getting so much land. Now the question is, how do I even choose the right place? If you want walkability and you want character, we need to go with the pre-war era, the 20s to 40s. If you want solid and affordable, then you're probably going to want to go with a brick ranch. Just again, caution with the basements. If you want move-in ready and modern, then honestly, anything built after 2010 is probably going to be suitable for you. But if you want rural and quiet, then the county living is probably going to be your thing, and we can just pick a home in accordance to your relative style. The real emphasis is pick the home that actually fits your lifestyle, not just the one that photographs really nicely. Now, every era does come with its own surprises. We talked about radon and the basements, but there are other things that people who move here tend to be surprised by when they come from other areas. So the next video, you can click right here, is about those surprises you may encounter. If you're moving here, that one plus a conversation with me is probably going to save you thousands, if not tens of thousands of dollars. And if that is the case, then I guess I'll see you at the closing table.